Hello everyone, my name is Phoenix and we are here today at Dollywood in the heart of the Smokies, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It is a blistering hot summer day. Some would say the hottest day in the summer. June 22nd, 2022 is when I am filming this footage. Just kind of doing my voiceover here as I'm home and editing the footage here. This is going to be our very first theme park walkthrough here on the channel. First of many that I hope. And before I jump into anything else, I do want to kind of just say that I am not happy with the footage that I recorded this day. I recorded all of this using a set of camera glasses, like sunglasses with a camera in them, that I thought would be great. They worked great when I tested them out and everything. But come to find out, when you're walking around with them, the footage just isn't all that stable. So I have recently purchased a GoPro after we got done with this trip because I wasn't happy with the footage that I got and I needed something with more stability, so I bought a GoPro. So future videos and everything else on this channel will be filmed with the GoPro, and I think it'll be a much better 4K high quality picture that you guys are going to get in the future. But just bear with me on this video. I think it's okay. It could have been a lot better, but I think it came out okay. And hopefully you guys will as well. We are kind of standing outside the gates here of Dollywood. We have a season pass, but it's the first time I've ever used it. It's also the first time I've been to Gatlinburg in 20 some years. So this is my first visit back to Dollywood in that long. Some things changed. Actually, a lot of things changed, but some things stayed the same. There's hardly any of the rides that I rode when I was originally here 20 some years ago, but there's a lot of new ones, and a couple of the original ones are still here. Blazing Fury, the River Rapids, things like that. But we're just trying to figure out where to get our season pass tickets, and then once we get that done, we're going to jump to the inside of the park and start our walkthrough. Here we are at the main entrance of Dollywood. As soon as you get your tickets and you enter the park, this is where you're going to find yourself. To the left is the Emporium, which is all your souvenir stuff. Anything you're looking for, gifts for others, souvenirs for yourself to take home, t-shirts, like shot glasses, backpacks even. All that stuff is going to be inside of there for you to find. Most of our park services are going to be over here to the left as soon as you enter the park as well, such as stroller rentals, Lost and Found, including Doggywood, which is a little place, if you have a pet and you need to leave it for the day, that's a good place to leave it. Locker rentals right there on the right. So if you're going to be renting a locker, it's going to be right there. Now, we are here at Dollywood today during the Smoky Mountain Summer Celebration, which is one of the festivals that they have during the year. So they got these little roadside attractions kind of set up throughout the park, which I will kind of discuss a little bit as we come across them. We are going to be going to the left. So Dollywood itself is laid out in a circular sort of pattern with its pathing. And the circular pattern, we're going to go kind of a clockwise motion around the park. And that was a beautiful little tree right over there to the left, kind of carved out of a tree anyway. Kind of nice. And that's one thing I love about Dollywood is the theming of this park. Now, lots of parks will say they are theme parks, but a theme park to me is someone who does theming very well. Busch Gardens, Walt Disney World, Walt Disneyland, anything like that, where they prioritize theming in the park. And that is Dollywood itself. Dollywood is absolutely beautiful. It's definitely in one of my top 10 parks for sure, if not my number one. I love it here. And they do theming very well. It's all themed to more of a kind of a Smoky Mountain wilderness kind of frontier kind of theme, which is kind of cool. And we're going to be going up this kind of little winding path here, which was added. I don't really know the year. If anybody knows, definitely put that in the comments there on when they actually were connected the park around this way, because I believe this wasn't an option years ago, and it eventually got connected. Love these birdhouses up on these little towers here. As you look around, as you're going up through here, you will see all kinds of these little birdhouses that have been made, and kind of just cool looking. And again, just scenery around the park that is just really nice to have. Now we are about to go underneath of the train here, the one that runs around the park. This is probably the highest train trestle in the park that you'll be walking under here right here. On the right, you will see that casket right there. That's a great photo opportunity for the family right there. Then we got this cool little graveyard kind of as we're coming up here. And it's a good thing, if you got the time, stop and read some of the tombstones that are in this little graveyard right here. They're kind of neat. Lots of little funny ones in there that are just little Easter eggs. And there's lots of these Easter eggs around the park and stuff too, included in the scenery. We're going to continue on up through here. So what a lot of this walkthrough is going to be, like I said, I'm literally just going to walk around the park itself. And I'm going to talk about things that I see and things that I know, little facts and stuff like that, and knowledge that I have from just being a theme park fanatic myself. There won't be any cuts of any sort. A lot of times I will see people who say they do a full walkthrough of the park, and it's not really a full walkthrough. They cut around. It's like, now we're here, now we're there, now we're over here. My walkthroughs are going to be complete walkthroughs. I'm literally going to walk the entire thing, show off as much as I can, and just showcase everything to you guys so you can see it all and take it all in without any kind of jump cuts or anything like that. Right up here is one of those summer celebration signs right here. Now, during this festival, they have all kinds of food options and stuff like that. While we were there on one day, we picked up one of the mountain berry lemonade or something like that, and it was absolutely delicious. So one of the first rides that you're going to come to here as you travel around Timber Canyon is Thunderhead. Thunderhead is a wooden coaster. And it is, I rode this, and wow, such a fantastic ride. Lots of airtime, winds around through there. It is one of the top coasters in the park. I may actually have to do a video where I rate all the coasters of Dollywood at some point too. So, but yeah, Thunderhead, highly recommend that one. If you love wooden coasters, I'm a huge fan of the Beast myself, so I don't know if it would rate higher than the Beast, but it is definitely one of the top-notch coasters here at the park. Got a little kiddie coaster over here right next to Thunderhead called the Whistle Punk Chaser. Didn't really ride that one. Don't know if they would even let me on it. I think it's more for smaller children and stuff, so I don't even know if I would be able to get on it. Now this is Dropline, which I think is themed to some sort of lumberjack kind of thing, or timbering or something. I don't really know the term Dropline and what it means. I've actually tried to look it up. There's a little sign over there that probably talks about it. I probably should have zoomed in on that a little more. Got the Lumberjack Pizza right here, which I was surprised to see open. I had watched some other video trip reviews and stuff with Dollywood earlier in the year, and it hadn't been open at that time. But it's good to see that it's open now. Some more of Dropline here. Now, Dropline used to be, what was here was a ride called Timber Tower, and it was made by Huss. And that ride, I think I would have loved to have ridden that ride, more so than Dropline. I'm not a huge fan of drop towers myself, but the Timber Tower that was there was just kind of this rotating kind of tower thing, and it just kind of swung back and forth and kind of leaned over as it went around, which would have, I think that would have been a whole lot of fun, but they took it out years ago. It was just a maintenance hassle. Moving on up into Timber Canyon, we have Mystery Mine coming up, and I was really looking forward to riding Mystery Mine. Ever since they've added Mystery Mine at Dollywood, I have been wanting to come back down here and ride this. And finally got a chance. 20-some years been waiting to come back to this park. And my thoughts on Mystery Mine is that it was definitely fun, but it's definitely a one ride per visit kind of thing, if that. Because it was rough. It was a whole lot rougher than I expected it to be. Right outside of Mystery Mine, they have this talking vulture right here. So just kind of stopping and taking a look at him, and I'd actually thought I'd read somewhere that they took him out years and years ago, And I was surprised to see that he was still there and working. Mystery Mines theming is just so top notch. One thing they done this year, I believe it was this year that they did it, was they changed up the ride. Actually, it might have been last year where they changed up the ride, but it used to go a different route when it came out through here, and you can kind of see the old track still remaining. And they changed up the track, and some people thought it made it better. I think I would have preferred it the way it was originally, but again, I never got to ride it originally, so I can't say for sure. But you can definitely see some of the parts of the old track is still there, where they just kind of cut it out and added new track. Now, this is another one of the newer areas here in the park, which was added a few years ago, Wilderness Grove. And this is more of a family kind of area. A lot of family rides and stuff up here, but it does have the big coaster in the area, which is Dragonflyer. We will take a look at that as soon as we get to it. And I love the entrance to this little area, too, where you kind of go underneath, or go through, I should say, these giant logs that are kind of hollowed out. It's kind of a nice touch. Again, just part of the charm and beauty of this park. You can see the drop line tower sticking out right there above, or I should say below. And here's one of the roadside attractions that they have coming up, are these little spinny things. So, at the time I was filming this walkthrough, nobody was in them at the time, but I did see them actually in use. A few kids and stuff were in those, and they were kind of just spinning them around like tops. Kind of neat. Here to the right was Till Harvest, which is a buffet type of food hall right there. Kind of you can go in and eat, I believe, in there. Didn't actually go in there, so not 100% sure on that. Got Treetop Tower over to the left, a nice kiddie ride that just kind of takes you up and spins around. Some sweets and treats over here, which I believe is another part of the summer celebration. They have available one of the special things there that you can get, special food treats. Restrooms, which are just beautifully themed to the area. I just love this kind of theming, to be honest. I absolutely love it. Now over here to the right, they are actually building some stuff. A new attraction, a new roller coaster is going to be added into Wilderness Grove for next year, which they will be announcing any day now at the time that this video goes live. I believe I heard that they were going to make the announcement on August 5th. So we should hear more about the new coaster, but they are definitely doing construction work on the day that I was there. The Great Tree Swing over to the left, which is just your basic kind of ship kind of thing that just goes back and forth. Now this area, it's kind of hot on a hot day because there's not a lot of foliage, not a lot of trees and stuff. But they definitely have trees planted here. So I feel like in the future, once the trees and things start growing up in this area, there'll be a lot more shade. And this place will be a little easier to kind of get around and to just enjoy. Another little thing here I love is this little bridge that goes over top of this little creek here, which is kind of nice. Little duck kind of just having a swim there in the creek. Even the fencing is just completely themed. And again, this is what I'm talking about with like the difference between a regular amusement park and a theme park is how they prioritize every little part of the theming into it. Another one of the roadside attractions down to the left. When we come back around here, because the Wilderness Grove is actually kind of a dead end. So once you get to Dragonflyer, which is in the back of the Wilderness Grove area here, there's not a whole lot of anything else. So you just gotta, in order to get back out, you have to turn around and go back. Maybe one day they will have it where you can actually, where this will connect up to another part. Not sure how they would do that, but we'll see. More souvenirs over there. And here's some mining going on from somewhere, not sure where. Frogs and Fireflies, another little kiddie ride there. It's kind of a bouncy ride. And there is Dragonflyer in the distance that we are heading to. And another awesome thing that is in Wilderness Grove, and I wish I could have seen this, but I didn't actually get a chance, is there's this giant tree that kind of sits here in Wilderness Grove. And at night, it's got these butterflies that are kind of all over it. And at night, the butterflies, they glow. They light up. I didn't get to see them during this trip, but hopefully the next one I will. There's some flyers over to the left. We'll get a better look at them as we come back through. The Mad Mockingbird, they call it. I'm a huge fan of that ride. Didn't get a chance to ride it during our trip here during this time, but maybe next time. Definitely, I wanted to get all the coasters out of the way because there were so many new things here that I didn't get a chance to ride when I was first here so long ago. All kinds of new things. Nice little shady area to sit there. If you have family that is going on Dragonflyer, but you don't want to go, you can totally do that. I'm going to step around here to the back. Maybe see if we can catch a train coming through. You can see the back of Thunderhead there, and way off in the distance is Wild Eagle. Nice little plaza here. It's just such a beautiful area. I can't wait for all the trees and stuff to grow up, and it gets even more shade. Now this is going to be, you can see those gates right there with the dragonflies on them. Pretty sure that is going to be where the path is going to extend out to the new coaster that they're adding. I myself think it's going to be some sort of launch coaster, probably a Mack, since Dollywood is a sister park to Silver Dollar City, and they just got Time Traveler over there, which ended up being a huge hit for them. Huge hit, actually, for Silver Dollar City. There's that tree that I was mentioning, kind of sitting up on a rock. And my camera wasn't really good enough to get the butterflies and stuff, so you can also hear the train in the distance there, in case that wasn't obvious. Gonna make our way back to Timber Canyon now and Mystery Mine as we walk back through here. Mountain Grove Merchants there. Pretty soon, right there straight in front of us, you'll be seeing an all-new coaster flying around the curves there. Down here in Wildwood Creek is kind of a little area they got the like fountains and stuff down in there that children can play in. I thought this was kind of cool too. Had this little lady dressed up as a fairy over there, entertaining the kids. See if we can get a nice shot of the area down in here. Got the nice water area down there. Got some old trucks dressed up down there. Kind of nice. Just another nice touch in the park. Some more Dragonflyer over there. And you can see the top of Mystery Mine and Wild Eagle there on the very top of the ridge. Wild Eagle is the tallest coaster in the park as far as height-wise, since it is on top of the mountain. And coming back around here. Kind of discussed a lot of this, so don't really have anything that we can kind of look at as we're coming back through here as we just make our way back through the Wilderness Grove here. Obviously, there's people definitely having some fun on the flying ship there. And there's Sweets and Treats again. And as we come back out, looks like some people are using these little, well, I don't even know what you would call these, but giant spinning tops, apparently, is the name of the roadside attraction here. These are only going to be here during the summer celebration. I don't know if they will hold them over for the next thing or bring them back for another festival. Kind of a cool little fountain right there. Hello, Mr. Security Guard. I absolutely just love the theming of Mystery Mine. And you know what? Mystery Mine looks even awesome, or more awesome. Is that even a word? It's, whatever. It looks better at night when it's all lit up with the lights and stuff on it. Absolutely beautiful. Maybe one of these days I can get a walkthrough of Dollywood in the evening at night. Hopefully. They close at like 9:30, and it's not really that... I mean, it's dark at 9:30, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of time between the time it gets dark and the time they close. Now, at this point, we are going to go underneath of Mystery Mine here. Now, I was saying earlier that they did reprofile this track, and I don't know why I was thinking it was this year, but it was definitely 2021 when they changed up the track for Mystery Mine. It was done during the off-season last year. This year, there were some changes done to the park, but they are on the other side of the park, and we will get to it shortly as we wrap ourselves around the park. We are now entering the Wilderness Pass section of the park, and up here we have another roadside attraction for summer celebration coming up, which is like this foam dance party thing they have on, where your family or your kids can jump in there and just dance around as they spray foam all over you. I don't know. Doesn't really sound like a whole lot of fun to me, but it looks neat. Definitely looks neat. And up here on the left, you can see these two little baby owls that have just hatched in the nest here. I just thought that was really, really cute. Just another one of those things here at Dollywood. Great photo opportunity there. You can stop and have your photos taken. Speaking of which, while I was going over this video here, I'm just kind of wishing that I had slowed down and taken a few different moments here to kind of get a better view of a lot of stuff in the park, instead of just kind of going past things at a little bit of a quicker pace. To be fair, though, it was extremely hot, and I had a lot of ground to cover as I was recording this, so I wasn't really sticking around at too many places there. Now, this spot right here, where this bubble foam zone is, they call it, actually used to be an attraction here. They had a river battle attraction here, which is a little ride where you would get on these little river boats, and you would go around on a preset track, and it was almost like you had little water cannons and stuff on it, and people around you could shoot at you, and you could shoot at other people while you were on the attraction, and the other boats and stuff, and targets that were actually on the attraction. Kind of a neat little thing. Don't know why they took it out. I kind of wish they'd kept it. Dollywood actually doesn't have a whole lot of water attractions, which are nice to cool down on. I've only got a couple. There's the Doghouse, which is a great name for a hot dogs place. And Splinters. Now, Splinters is kind of neat. It's a little restaurant kind of attraction here, which you can walk up to and grab some food or something from. But it's got a squirrel as a mascot, and on top of it are all of these little, like, bird houses, or squirrel houses, for that matter, as you can see there. I tried to get a good shot of that. Going back and looking, though, apparently I didn't. And over here on the left is the Fire Chaser Express. It is a steel family launch roller coaster built in 2014. It's about 35 miles an hour. Does have one part, once it gets to a certain point in the ride, it stops, and then you get like a little show, and then it launches you backwards. Not really a big, huge fan of backwards launch coasters, but that one wasn't too bad. It's not that big of a section. It's not like the whole coaster's backwards. Hopefully we can get a good shot of it here. I can't remember if I did get any video of it actually running or not, and get one of the actual cars going by. Let's see there. It's got a great station, though. The station is themed to a firehouse, like an old-time firehouse. I absolutely love the theming on it. It's there's a place in Silver Dollar City that's very similar, and it has a little drop tower next to it that kind of shoots you up and drops you back down. There's the Wild Eagle statue there. Absolutely beautiful metal constructed statue that they have outside. And there is the entrance to Wild Eagle. Some lockers over there in case you need lockers. Wild Eagle was an amazing ride. It was being here the day before I filmed this, we got a chance to ride it, and it was just so much fun. It was my first wing coaster I've ever ridden. It was a whole lot of fun. And there's Fire Chaser Express in front of us here. You can see the cars going back. So the way the coaster works is you go out as normal. So it launches you out. And it's not too fast or anything. It's definitely more of a family coaster. It doesn't really go upside down or anything. I'm glad I was able to get some shots of it actually running here. And I do apologize about the artifacting and the video and stuff here. I probably will not be using these glasses again. But anyway, the ride kind of goes around, and then it gets to, like I said earlier, a certain point, and then at a certain point, you get like a little show. I won't spoil anything for those who are planning on riding it later. And then it shoots you backwards out of the little show building there, and you go around a few little curves kind of quick and back into the station, where it's ready for the next group of riders. Luckily, they did have these fans and stuff everywhere around the park. They even had some misters here and there, especially in the queue lines. Wasn't so bad the day before we were here, before I filmed this video here. It was kind of, a little bit of a breeze that day. The misters and the fans and stuff definitely helped. Today, though, it was just really humid. Just so humid that none of that stuff really helped. Now we are coming up on one of probably the oldest coasters still in the park right now, Tennessee Tornado, which is a aero coaster, widely known as being one of the smoothest aero twister coasters that they ever made. And after riding that, I can definitely confirm, because the last aero coaster I actually rode personally was Vortex at Kings Island, and I hate to see Vortex removed from Kings Island, but I mean, it was pretty rough. But it was like a legendary coaster. So I loved the view, like watching Vortex, especially where it was located in the park, but I never really cared for the ride itself. It was not a smooth coaster. But Tennessee Tornado wasn't bad. Just kind of wish they would maybe redo the seats a little bit and give you a little bit of padding on the seats themselves. One cool thing about the theming of the station for Tennessee Tornado is it's got like all this wood and stuff ripped off of it, and it's got like all these debris and things. It looks like a tornado has come through and like thrown debris all the way, like into the building, which is kind of cool. Apparently, I didn't get any good footage of that though. I decided instead to film this sign. I don't know why. Lots of games and stuff back in this little area. There you go. Okay, yeah, there you go. You see kind of the debris, and there's the sign and stuff there for it. Now, this was a neat little area that they had back through here. So in the front of the park, they have, during the Flower Festival, they have umbrellas hung up at the front of the park. This year, for the summer celebration, they hung up kites, which is kind of neat. And in this little area back here, they had these, like, Nerf things hung up right above you here, which I don't get. I guess, these little foam saber kind of things are something that people use in the summer and stuff. I don't know. I never did when I was a kid, but technically we didn't have those when I was a kid. But anyway, it's a nice little kind of little feature that you can kind of walk in here. Just adds a little bit of extra shade. We got some bathrooms over here on the left, and some old-timey buildings and stuff just to add to the scenery of the park. And over here is one of my absolutely favorite rides in the park. This was here when the last time I was at Dollywood, which was the first and only time I was ever at Dollywood, and that's Blazing Fury. It's one of the oldest. Technically, it's a coaster in the park. It's a dark ride. It's kind of fun. I just enjoy it for the nostalgia sake, basically. I just think it's a whole lot of fun. And they got some cornhole things going on there if you want to play some cornhole. And we're going to walk down through over here, and we're almost into Craftsmans Valley. Now, this area got changed up a little bit this year, which I will mention in a minute. Right now, I see that the Wings of America showbirds are over here. And over here, you can kind of go and take a look at different kinds of showbirds. There's maybe an eagle in there, some ravens, a vulture maybe. I didn't get too good of a look over there. the first day we were there, they didn't actually have the birds out. Now this over here, I'm showing this off because there used to be an attraction here. There's still one in Silver Dollar City, but the one in Gatlinburg here in Dollywood was taken out. And I'm pretty sure it was located right here, like part of the ride was here. And that's the Flooded Mine, which was another dark ride, which was probably about as old or older than Blazing Fury. And I'm pretty sure it used to be located right there, from what I remember. I may have even ridden that the first time I was ever at Dollywood. I can't remember for sure, but I think I did. Down into Craftsmans Valley down in here. And we were there on a day. Now, it looks like there are a lot of people here, but actually there wasn't too many people. Most of the rides, like after I filmed my little walkthrough here, we went and rode some more rides. And almost everything was walk-on. Like, we got onto everything within 5 minutes or less of getting in line, which is kind of nice. A nice little barbecue place over there. We did try some of the barbecue at that little walk-up stand there, and I thought it was quite delicious. My girlfriend did think, though, that the fries were cold. I didn't have a problem with it. No, wait, the fries. It wasn't the fries she thought was cold. She thought the barbecue was cold. But, I mean, they do have it just kind of waiting for customers, and then they just kind of put it together. Walking on down here a little further, and we have up on the right here is where you go up to Daredevil Falls, one of the 2 water rides that they have here. And I will say, if you plan on riding Daredevil Falls, if you have anything on you, backpacks, anything like that, most of the rides in the park will let you kind of set things to the side in like little boxes and bins and stuff right next to the queue station. However, Daredevil Falls does not have that option. If you plan on riding this, you can't have anything on you. They will not let you on, or they won't let you put anything on the side so you can pick it up when you get off the ride. That is a 66-foot tall drop right there. Max speed of 50 miles per hour on that. Nice little ride to cool down on. It probably had the longest line of the evening. We rode it there the day before I filmed this. We were there for 2 days. We were only going to be there for 1 day, but we decided to go back again the next day. My season pass did give me an option for 4 Bring a Friend tickets, and we could use a second Bring a Friend ticket on the next day. So I thought, you know what, let's go back. Now, I did mention earlier that some of this area has changed. Now, they have moved a couple of the buildings around, from my understanding. I don't really remember it too well because it's been so long since I've been there, but I think they had moved, there were some blacksmith stands or something somewhere here. And they moved those over and just cleared up the space down through here and made it a little bit easier to walk through, a little bit bigger of a path. And of course, you did see that little church back there. Fun fact about Dollywood is on Sundays, they do actually have church service at that little church there inside the park. And this is Craftsmans Valley, and it's so called because this is where you can get all kinds of crafts and things handmade here in the park by the craftsmen, the skilled craftsmen, I should say, here at the park. They're very good at what they do. They got blacksmiths and woodworkers and leather workers there. You can get all kinds of things. You can get if you wanted to, you could even get a rocking chair here at Dollywood. Now, I don't know why you would get a rocking chair at Dollywood. I don't know how you would actually carry it around for most of the day, or how that works. Maybe they ship it to you, or so maybe you purchase it and it gets shipped to you. That's an option. And we're going to head up this little area over here, which can easily be missed if you didn't know it was up here. But there is a ride right up here. And this little section of the park is actually called Owens Farms. And it is home to only one attraction up here, which is the Barnstormer, an S&S Screaming Swing. And a little bit of history behind this area. It's so-called Owens Farms because it's actually named after Dolly's mother's family. Reverend Jake Owens was actually Dolly Parton's grandfather. But that's pretty much all there is up to that. I did actually ride Barnstormer. It was a whole lot of fun. There you can see it in action. I did try to get a little bit of footage of this thing. And the theming up here is definitely top-notch. Maybe some of the best in the park up here. Themed to like an air show and some daredevils. And it really makes me wish that I had just kind of stopped to smell the roses at a lot of this area. And mostly anywhere around the park. Just to kind of get everything filmed just better. Like this signage here. You can kind of see it, but I wish I'd just gotten some better shots of it. It's a shame that this little area right here is hidden away. Kind of in a little cove back in here. Like a little cubby hole. It is quite steep to get up here as well. And as we head back down into Craftsmans Valley, there's two things to kind of pay attention to here. One is that running right down through the middle of Craftsmans Valley is this little creek sort of thing. And right above that is an actual working flume. That wooden support system that you see running down through there, it's actually a water flume. And it actually works. Kind of neat. Another thing right over here that I actually kind of found odd, for the summer celebration they have these little like steel things sitting out here. They're supposed to be like steel lawn chairs. And on a hot day like today and in the summer, I don't know if I would want to lay on something made of steel. That just seems rather hot to me. So, yeah, probably won't. We are very close here. You can see the Valley Theater there on the left, but on the right-hand side is the actual working grist mill, where you can get some of Dollywood's world-famous cinnamon bread. We did try some, and it was quite delicious, and highly recommend to try to get some if you are there. Line is usually quite long for it, though. This is one of my favorite areas of the park right here, too, because you can kind of see the actual working water mill and everything there. And then you have the little pond there with all the flowers and everything. And if you go down this way, this is going to take you down into back towards the beginning of the park, where we came in at. Passing underneath of the train here. Just kind of get a good look. This also comes down through here. You can take that little route right up there to get to Owens Farms as well. We're going to go ahead back up this way, though, because I want to show you guys a little something up here. This is something that's changed as of 2022. Now, as you come up here around Miss Lillian's Smokehouse, where they have the summer celebration going on here, this is some of the things you can get. The 3 little pig sandwich, a pork belly on a stick, and then southern fried corn. I'll tell you what, all of that looks really good. I love barbecue stuff, and I love corn on the cob, so that sounds great. But right here, there used to actually be a tunnel that you could kind of travel through here. And this is something that I kind of wish they hadn't taken out. So I'm sure they took it out for a reason. Probably maybe just to get more traffic and stuff through here, most likely. But there used to be a tunnel that we would actually be going through right now. And they've taken it out. And now we just have this pathway here. Not quite as nice. I think the tunnel was better, personally. I think it also added to the charm of the park. And it also added a little bit of shade as you're walking around on a day like today. And as we head further down this path, we are getting ready to cross over the train tracks here and into the County Fair section of the park. The County Fair section of the park is something that's been there a while. It's where you're going to find a lot of your old classic rides, things like the Scrambler, lots of family rides, things over here. Good place to bring young children if you have them. They should most likely enjoy most of the rides over in here. No coasters or anything like that. Just a lot of flats. And there, on the left-hand side of the screen, is our train station. And I'm really upset that I actually didn't get any better video of that, because the train was actually sitting right there. It was perfect for filming, and for some odd reason I just didn't bother to turn and get that. I definitely regret it. I'm pretty sure the train they had running that day was Klondike Katy. which is one of the park's oldest trains. It's been there since it was known as Rebel Railroad way back in the day in 1961. The park actually has two of those trains, Klondike Katy and Cinderella. And here we have some more of the food from our summer celebration, including a grilled cheese sandwich, which actually sounded kind of delicious. It looked delicious, for sure. Going back to the train, though, the Dollywood Express is what it's known as, with its two trains. As I said, Klondike Katy and Cinderella. There are both 110-ton coal-fired steam engines, and it actually takes you around a 5-mile journey around the back of the park there. And there's only one station, which is right down in this area. Little tidbit is the first time we tried to ride the train, we actually missed it by 5 minutes. We basically ran all the way from the back of the park where Tennessee Tornado is, all the way down to this area to try to make sure that we got on the train, and we missed it by only a few seconds. They had just closed it up and wouldn't let us on. We had to come back for the last ride of the day. I did try to get video footage of the entire train ride, and about halfway through, my glasses actually died, ran out of power. Now, over here we have the beautiful carousel here that is in this area of the park. The park's only carousel, really. And I often find that a carousel is just a thing of beauty in any amusement park. They've been around for a very, very long time, and a lot of them are just complete works of art. They're just so beautiful. And we're kind of going to go around the carousel here and over into this section of the park, which is, we're still in the county fair section. There are lots of ways into the county fair, lots of little winding paths that move in and around these buildings here. One kind of cool feature that the county fair section has is all this little signage and stuff around that kind of gives you the feeling of being in an actual county fair. Lots of midway games and stuff over here too, where you can win, you know, very, very wilderness frontiersy things like the Among Us plushies over there. I mean, you know, those are definitely from the 1900s, late 1800s and early 1900s there. We got the swings over here. The classic swings are in this area over here. There's advertisements kind of everywhere for all the different rides that are over here. There's also lots of little like tables and stuff where you can sit down and eat. Got that cool little kind of plane sitting over there in the middle here, right above us, which I can't seem to focus on as I'm running around here trying to record all of this. I can't seem to focus on anything. Man, I really regret kind of this video. I'm not planning all this out ahead of time. Everything about this entire trip to Gatlinburg was just pretty much rushed. And this was the first time I've filmed anything like this in any kind of like travel vlog that I've ever done. So obviously it is a work in progress, which I am going to work on. Like I said, I have already bought a different camera to do this with. I got a GoPro, which I think the GoPro and then putting it on like mounting it to my backpack will actually be much better than just running around with these glasses and no stable camera action at all. And of course the next time I will try to slow down and show more things off. And directly in front of us is the park's Scrambler. I always enjoy riding those, no matter where I go. Been a long time since I actually had been on one. But we did get a chance to ride that flat ride. Mostly we rode a lot of the coasters as we were there. But we did get a chance to actually try out a few of the flats. Like Barnstormer and the Scrambler, of course. But there is a Demolition Derby. And it is right over there to the left. There's the swings that just kind of merry-go-round swings. And that's pretty much most everything over in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just kind of take this little area over here. I found this little path that was kind of heading back over here. And then I thought, you know what? Let's go this way. There's a covered bridge over here. I like covered bridges. Let's travel the covered bridge. and see where this little path takes us. Just kind of a off the beaten path, so to speak, as we head over here. I should have stopped to take a look at that little creek that runs underneath there a little better. At this point, I was like, which way am I going to go? I'm going to follow this little creek bed down through here as it winds around. Which is pretty much what I decided to do. So as we make our way around through here, in this little path that goes back in here, where it looks like we're going to go underneath of the train again right here. Now the train, as it comes back into the station and makes its way back around, it does go back up into around Wilderness Grove up there, and then comes back down here, and it comes around all of the entire county fair section, and then goes right back into the station. So it makes a complete circle around this entire area. As I make my way around, I begin to think to myself, I say to myself, maybe I chose the wrong path here. It seems like maybe not a lot going on over here, not a lot to see, a lot of fencing over here. Of course, I did realize that I was right next to the Smoky Mountain River Rampage. Now, the River Rampage was here when I was first here at Dollywood a long, long time ago. And personally, out of all the River Rapids rides that I had ridden, I thought that this one is the best one that I've ridden. And I was sad to see that coming back, both days we were here, it was actually closed. Now, the first day we were here, they had the water and stuff running on it, but they didn't actually run the ride. And here on day 2, as I was filming my walkthrough here, they didn't even have any water. They completely drained it, which made me wonder what was going on with that. I almost wondered, are they going to drain it and put in something kind of like what they did at Silver Dollar City, perhaps? You can see all the water is out of that there. But looking back a few days later, they did actually get it back up and running, so must have just been doing maintenance or something on it there. I was very disappointed, though, that they didn't have it open, as it was something that I was pretty much looking very much forward to riding again after all these years. And as we come around this little building here, we are back on our path here and coming back towards the beginning of the park over here. This is actually the Rivertown Junction section of the park, is what they call this. And right over there was the Back Porch Theater, where it's kind of an open-air amphitheater kind of thing. Dogs and Taters. It's a great name for a little hot dog stand there. You can get french fries and hot dogs. Now, the only actual attraction over here in Rivertown Junction is the Smoky Mountain River Rampage, the River Rapids ride of the park. But honestly, I think this little section of the park is a nice little place to just sit down and relax and check out all the scenery and stuff. Lots of trees and stuff over here, so you get a little bit of shade. And there is that little creek that kind of runs down through here, which gives off a nice sort of breeze off the water. Or maybe you just like to listen to the sound of water. There's also that. Very scenic over in this area, though, in my personal opinion. I like this section of the park quite a bit. And Rivertown Junction is also home to Aunt Granny's here on the right side of the screen. Aunt Granny's has been named by USA Today as one of the top 10 best theme park restaurants in the entire country. It is all-you-can-eat buffet. Haven't actually eaten there myself. Perhaps one day I will get an opportunity. We're heading back towards the main entrance of the park. But right here coming up is Festival Fair. The Festival Fair is, normally this would be the area where you would get the skillets that they have, which look delicious and I was really hoping to get this year. But now they are doing a hot dog bologna sandwich at the time I was there. You see they also have hush puppies. They got these 2 drinks here as well. Blueberry tea punch and some sort of lemonade type thing, the berry lemonade. And I gotta tell you, if you get a chance to go there before the summer celebration is over with, you've got to try that berry lemonade. It is absolutely delicious. Another roadside attraction they have here for the summer celebration, as we just passed through it here. Another little water play area. Now we are back down here towards the main entrance. But we're going to take a left, and we're going to head over into Jukebox Junction. Home of Red's Drive-In, and one of the wildest rides in the entire park, Lightning Rod, which we will get to in just a moment. Also, you'll see these two giant red Coke bottles that are kind of standing up like statues over here on the left side of the screen. And those are actually charge stations. So if you need to charge your phone or anything like that, that's a perfect area to do it there. Right up in front of us is Red's Drive-In. You get shakes, burgers, fries. Classic 60s, 1950s kind of food there, like a diner. And right there in front of us is a Lightning Rod. Now, Lightning Rod is an RMC coaster. It is one of the only launched RMC coasters. If you don't know what an RMC coaster is, RMC is Rocky Mountain Coasters. They basically make a hybrid wooden and steel coasters. Some people say they don't claim them to be wooden coasters. Some people say they are actual steel coasters. It's more of a hybrid, though. If you're going to call it anything, I would say call it a hybrid. The time I'm filming my little walkthrough here, it was actually down, which isn't a surprise. Lightning Rod is down quite a bit, though recently they have been doing some work on it. They've been doing maintenance on this thing ever since it opened to try to get it more kind of constantly running, so it's not down all the time. And they finally got it to at least where it's at a point where it's running a lot of the time. So chances are, if you're there, you might get an opportunity to actually ride it, more so than you did when it first opened. Now, we could have kept going and went across a bridge back into Rivertown Junction back there, but we're going to go back the way we came and head back towards Main Street. On our left there is High Octane Gifts. Lots of Lightning Rod and car shirts and stuff in there. I stopped by there. Noticed they had a lot of Chevy shirts, a lot of Jeep shirts, a lot of Ford shirts. So if you're in the cars, they got lots of kind of car memorabilia and things in there. There's one of those Coke statues that I was mentioning earlier. And we're going to head towards Dream Song Theater. Right over here. Usually over in this area, they will sometimes have these food trucks parked out here. Give you an opportunity to try lots of different kinds of food. Or at least food from different kinds of food trucks, I should say. Also parked right over here in front of Dream Song Theater is Dolly's Tour Bus. And during the Flower and Food Festival, you could actually, I think, stay on that bus. Yeah, I think there was an opportunity where you could pay extra and you could stay in the bus. Sometimes you can do like a tour of it. I might be wrong about actually staying on it, though. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure I read that during the Food and Flower Festival, which was what the park kind of opened with for the most part in the spring, I'm pretty sure they did have an opportunity where you could actually pay for that, though. We're going to go across this awesome little kind of stone iron fence bridge right here. Again, going off top this little creek, which I'm assuming they consider that to be the river of Rivertown Junction. We're heading back onto the main thoroughfare of the park here. Now, during the Food and Festival that they have during the spring, they have umbrellas hanging up above this little area right here. But this is the first time I've seen this. They've done kites for the summer festival. It's a really nice touch. I didn't get a chance to actually see the umbrellas in person, so I'm glad I got to see these kites. And on the left and right are like bakeries, and there's an ice cream shop over there where they make handmade ice cream over there. I did stop and try some. It was pretty good. Not the best ice cream I've ever had. Not the worst. I think we got a couple of milkshakes. handmade milkshakes over there. And we are heading back into the main entrance of the park, which is going to conclude our little walkthrough here of Dollywood. And I hope you guys have enjoyed my full video walkthrough of the park. Again, it wasn't exactly how I had hoped things would go. The footage didn't turn out as good, but I did my best, and I've learned some things. So the next time we're here will be much better, and that's going to be probably around late September, early October when we're back for the Fall Festival Harvest. But before I head out, I do just want to say I would love to hear all of your guys' comments about any way that I can maybe improve on our future walkthroughs of theme parks and stuff like that, what you guys would like to see. Love to hear any of that stuff. And that's going to do it from here at Dollywood. So wherever you guys are in the world, thank you for watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I will see you in the next video.